Sawadee krap, I'm JP Mestanza, and today is Wednesday, July 3rd. You're watching Phuket Xtra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. In the wake of the heavy floods that inundated parts of the island this past weekend, tourism officials are sounding the alarm of the effects of overdevelopment and the fact that Phuket isn't receiving anywhere near the amount of money from Bangkok that it generates for the whole country in order to develop the island's infrastructure.
After Bangkok, Phuket is the second highest economic contributor to the country, having generated up to 388 billion baht through tourism in all of 2023. The island is projected to generate even more this year, 400 billion baht, with liberal estimates putting it closer to 450 billion baht. Yet legislators in Bangkok don't act like it and have allocated a measly 170 million baht in the annual budget for Phuket, a rate that local tourism officials call pitiful, especially with the proportion of the money that Phuket's tourism generates for the whole country. Even Pattaya, which barely generated 50 billion baht in tourism revenue last year, they receive well over 1 billion baht from the annual budget. The president of the Phuket Tourist Association, Danet Tantipirik Yakich, says that this is one of the many reasons that Phuket may not be able to have first-time tourists return to the island, citing a lack of infrastructure that inconveniences not just tourists, but locals and business operators on the island. He cited a statistic that showed 60% of first-time visitors to Phuket say they may not revisit the island. The lack of infrastructure on Phuket, like the low number of major roads and almost non-existent public transportation, not to mention the issues with drainage during the heavy rainy season, are prompting tourists to consider other destinations. With 170 million baht allocated budget, Phuket is unable to progress with large projects like the Patong Tunnel, a second main road, a new motorway, and a public light rail, all of which have been talked about and require higher budgets for not just construction, but land expropriation, all of which have also seen lip service from Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin. Yet many of them are in the study phases, but all have been delayed. This is all playing out during the Phuket property boom, which would put more strain on the island's already stretched finite resources. The PTA president Danet went on to say that the new town planning and environmental laws could allow developers to construct properties at a higher elevation, exceeding 140 meters above sea level. This is prompting concern that this would create further problems with Phuket's drainage system, as some of the natural drainage that the island does have could be blocked by the projects allowed by the change in this law. For more, visit the link in the description.
Praise is being heaped upon Chungtalay police for stopping a pickup truck that had been billowing out black smoke.
In a video that Chungtalay police themselves posted online, they showed a pickup truck driving past the police station on Sri Suthorn Road, leaving a cloudy trail of thick black smoke that hung in the air and then showered itself onto motorists waiting for the red light in the opposite westbound lanes. In the post, police explained that the truck was pulled over in front of Wat Chungtalay, though they failed to explain what legal action was taken against the driver. Social media users praised the quick action by police and condemned the pickup truck driver. The comments ranged from praise for the police to frustration with the truck's pollution. Other comments pointed out that the support for the police in taking action against the pickup truck driver should be interpreted by police as encouragement to continue to do the same against other offenders in the area. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
An embezzlement charge has landed a 37-year-old British national in hot water with authorities at the Phuket International Airport as he was trying to enter the island.
The 37-year-old, identified as Lawrence Church, was arrested at about 1 p.m. on Monday at the International Arrivals Hall trying to enter Phuket on a new passport. Island authorities in Patong had an arrest warrant out for the 37-year-old that identified the passport number of his last travel document, but he had attempted to enter on a new passport. Still, he was taken into custody by officers from Patong Police and sent to Patong Police Station for legal action. In addition, immigration officials at the airport reported the arrests of 4 individuals, including 2 Egyptian nationals, 1 Pakistani national, and 1 Russian national, all for overstaying their visas. The Russian national, identified only as Dmitry, had overstayed 413 days, while one of the Egyptian nationals, identified as Haidam, had overstayed by just over 234 days. However, the other Egyptian national, identified as Mohammed, had overstayed 1,898 days, or just over 5 years, while the Pakistani national, Zubair, overstayed 1,734 days, just under 5 years. All are now facing legal action. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
duty-free shops at arrivals areas of 8 international airports around the country are set to be closed, all to encourage more spending at domestic shops outside of the airport.
The move closes all inbound duty-free businesses at 8 international airports in Thailand for 1 year. The airports include Hat Yai, Utapao, Krabi, Samui, Chiang Mai, both Bangkok airports at Don Mueang and Suvarnabhumi, as well as right here in Phuket. According to officials, the ability of travelers to purchase goods from inbound duty-free shops reduces the opportunity for spending on domestic goods. Therefore, the Ministry of Finance will study the appropriateness of revoking permits for establishing bonded warehouses serving inbound duty-free shops, as well as tax exemptions for items purchased from these shops by inbound passengers. The ministry expects the closure of inbound duty-free shops to increase spending of foreign tourists by 570 baht per person per trip. According to Customs Department statistics, sales from inbound duty-free shops totaled 3.02 billion baht in 2023, and officials believe that this money will now likely go towards domestic shops outside the airports. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
With so much complaining taking place about the Senate elections, as everyone continues to say that no one is qualified, the official results of the Senate election has been delayed.
There have been heavy complaints at every single level of the 3-tier Senate election over the last few weeks, as no one, except the more than 40,000 candidates themselves, are actually allowed to vote for this next Senate. The first complaints came from the current senators who are set to be replaced and had all been appointed, not elected, as they all whined that this process was much too complicated and was unconstitutional. The Constitutional Court itself said no way, and so the Senate election process continued all throughout the rest of June. Now, the complaints, much of which are coming from senatorial hopefuls, all concern the qualifications and alleged ineligibility of other senatorial hopefuls. Basically, senatorial candidates are calling out other senatorial candidates, saying that they're not eligible. In order to sift through these complaints, the Election Commission will now delay the results of the Senate election, which were supposed to be read out and made official on Tuesday. Now, the Election Commission is saying that they will review the more than 1,000 complaints they've received, and thus, the official certification of the results has been delayed, and it's unclear until when. Political observers say that the longer the newly elected Senate is not certified, the longer the caretaker Senate, all of whom were appointed by the military-led government back in 2019, they will remain in office. And that means that the legislative duties of the Senate will remain in limbo, especially when it comes to creating amendments of the 2017 Constitution. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
Thanks so much for joining us here on this Wednesday edition of Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. Join us again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000, and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment, offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.